Brought to you by CFU, the power of service.
Talking UNI Panther football as the Missouri Valley Football Conference schedule marches on. The Panthers add a top 10 team in number 4 South Dakota. The Coyotes get the win over the Panthers. Up next for UNI is a top 10 ranked North Dakota Fighting Hawks team. Coaches go to that South Dakota football game. The first 2 drives for both teams look like very productive drives. Your Panthers go out, put points on the board right away for a 7-0 lead before South Dakota answered. What did you see in that offensive drive from your kids?
Well, we started, Sheck took over as the starting quarterback in that particular game, redshirt freshman first drive, and was a part of that throw to Dez that made that drive happen. So it finished off with Ty in the end zone. But it really started with Sheck and his play, and I thought he played good. And
talk about Sheckelman, gotten a few opportunities in the games leading up to that game and gets his first career start. What did you see, just the preparation all week long from him?
Well, I thought it was good, and what the tell is on penalties. I mean, we also had Jack Hearn playing center because we had lost our center, which was another redshirt freshman. And so we had 2 redshirt freshmen playing snap to quarterback, and we didn't have a penalty in that transition of communication. So in the prep, you know that they were focused and locked in.
You talked about that big play out to Desmond Hudson. What did you see from Sheckelman in those big plays? He had 2 plays, that 49-yard catch by Hudson and a 50-yard touchdown later in that football game.
Well, the passes that he made were actually tough passes in tight windows and across the middle. So when you see that, the speed of the ball, it takes a hard throw, it takes a tight throw, and it takes an accurate throw.
In the receiving game, the Panthers, a number of different weapons once again. Desmond Hudson, though, that big catch in that first drive we mentioned. What have you seen from him over the course of the season as he's one of those senior leaders?
I've seen consistency, and that's what you see. I see him play with the love of the game and the consistency he plays with, and that's what he brings every day.
Jaden Ellis-Leahy, we haven't seen a ton of those big explosive plays. You know he's got the speed for it, and man, he showed it in that big one on that flea flicker.
Well, he did. That was a good play at a good time, and he made a play. And he's got big play capability, and that will definitely help his confidence.
Ty Edwards with 53 rushing yards on the ground for UNI. What did you see from that offensive line and Ty in the football game?
Well, that wasn't productive enough for us, and that's what we went back and looked at because that should be a 100-yard rusher. If you can win games, we need 100 yards rushing from that group, whether it's a 2 running back deal or 1, but we were out with Amari last week, so Ty carried the load for us, but we need to get that above 100 yards because that opens other things up.
You had Sheckelman making his first career start, and you mentioned Jack Hearn gets his first start at center, really coordinating that offensive line, a big responsibility on the center. What did you see from Jack in his first start?
Again, the communication. He was the one that's making the line calls, which direction, what we had to do based off the formations or the adjustments they made. There wasn't a lot of error, there wasn't mental error, and for a guy to go take that and have to snap the ball and do what he had to do as a redshirt freshman, going out there for the first time. I mean, it wasn't a few weeks ago he's on scout team, and now he's a starting center.
Coach, as that offense continued to progress throughout that football game, how did they kind of respond to different situations as you went through that second, third, and fourth quarter?
Well, that's what we have to get better at. I felt that we didn't stop them well enough to get back in front. And you have to be able to shut people down to get back in front. You're going to get swings in games just because of the league you play in. But you got to be able to regain momentum after that, and we never did.
All right, we will have more coming up with UNI head football coach Mark Farley. The Panthers, another top 10 opponent coming up. This will be the 3rd week in a row as the Panthers are at North Dakota. We'll preview that game when we return on Panther Sports Talk.